Bronny, short for Bronwyn. Are you having fun?
Yeah!
It's great at the beach, isn't it? But did you know that Porthcawl didn't always look like this? 150 years ago, there was nothing here. It wasn't until they started mining coal in my stag that Porthcawl town and its harbour were built, and ships started to sail from here, taking their black gold to all corners of the world. This is one of the most dangerous parts of the British coastline, with the second highest tide anywhere in the world. And being a sailor was often very hard. Our coast was the last resting place for hundreds of ships and for their crews.
The earliest recorded wreck in this area was that of the French vessel Le Vainqueur. It got stranded on Scare Beach in 1753, carrying a cargo of thousands of oranges, lemons, and figs.
Can you imagine the excitement of local people when all of this washed up on their doorsteps? In those days, these were fruits you rarely saw and almost never got the chance to taste. But wreck robbing, as it was called, taking what wasn't yours that had washed up from shipwrecks, was illegal, sometimes even punishable by death.
In 1781, the Caterina ran aground with its cargo of cotton. John Webb, one of its robbers, was sentenced to death and hanged. In 1866, the Maloney, an iron sailing ship, was taking coal from Cardiff docks to South Africa. It didn't get very far. A gale blew it onto the rocks. The crew were all from Africa, and they all perished and were washed ashore.
There were stories told, you know, of the White Captain's young daughter being found dead in the arms of one of the Africans who had tried to protect her. It was also reported that a local innkeeper collected 4 of the corpses from the beach and offered them for people to view at threepence a look. So rare was a black face in those days. But the steamship Sam Tampa was the most famous wreck here, with one of the saddest stories.
On the 23rd of April, 1947, the Sam Tampa came aground on Scare Point in a violent storm. The Monmouth lifeboat, the Edward, Prince of Wales, was sent out to help. At midday, the Sam Tampa sent a message to another ship nearby saying that she was in trouble.
Sam Tampa rapidly drifted towards rocks. Have both anchors down. Sam Tampa position, 51 degrees 29 minutes north, 3 degrees 45 minutes west, bearing 290 degrees, 2.5 miles from Porthcawl Lighthouse. Sam Tampa, fear the anchor chains will not hold much longer. Please send assistance. Starboard anchor carried away, now drifting ashore rapidly. SOS, Sam Tampa now aground at Porthcawl Light. Now breaking up.
Sadly, once again, all were lost. 39 from the ship, as well as all 8 of the volunteer lifeboat crew.
But that wasn't the worst thing. It seemed that the men died not from drowning, but by being choked to death by the oil that had spilt from the ship's engines into the waters. Porthcawl Docks didn't last very long. When Barry Docks was built in 1889, the ships went there instead. It was much bigger than Porthcawl, so people here had to come up with a new idea. It was at that time that the town became the family seaside resort we see today, where people, like us, could come to relax, to play games and to swim in the sea. But this, of course, brought other dangers. Swimmers sometimes get into difficulty in the dangerous currents here. You can't see the currents, but they are there, even if the sea looks calm and inviting. The sea has given us many things since earliest times. It was and still is the major transporter of goods from overseas. Our TVs, our fridges, clothes, shoes, cars, most of what we wear and use really. And it also supplies us with fresh fish and other healthy foods to eat. And it brings us great joy, like today at holiday times, especially when the sun is shining. But as we've learned, it needs to be treated with respect. Walking along the harbour wall and along the prom, big waves have swept people out to sea, and sometimes their bodies aren't found for days. Anglers sometimes get swept off the rocks by huge waves. And swimming in the sea near the harbour can be dangerous too, if you don't take the right precautions. But don't worry, if you learn some simple lessons, you'll be perfectly safe.
I know. I learned to swim. And I know my limits. I never swim alone. I never swim after a meal. I always slip on a t-shirt in the sun.
And slap on a hat.
And slop on some sun cream.
Slap, slop. I've learned never to dive into the water when you can't see the bottom.
Or when you can't be sure what hazards lay beneath. I only swim between the red and yellow flags. And I know what all the safety signs mean.
I know never to use inflatables in strong winds or rough seas.
I've learned about different types of currents. And I know how to escape from dangerous riptides that can sweep you out to sea. I've learned what to do if I get in trouble in the sea. And I know what to do if someone else gets into trouble. I never put myself in danger by trying to save someone else in the water.
I know my limits.
I know my limits. I know my limits. I know my limits. I know my limits. I know my limits. know my limits. I know my limits.
So we'll all have fun at the seaside. But we'll always